my dad. My dad had been molesting me.
More than 3 decades behind bars, a high-profile murder case. And yet another denial of freedom, Eric and Lyle Menendez. Their names still capture global attention. Their case is not just a story of murder, but a family tragedy, childhood abuse, and the complexity of the justice system. In 1989, inside a Beverly Hills mansion, gunshots echoed through the night in a way that still haunts true crime followers today. Eric and Lyle, 2 young, wealthy brothers, brutally shot and killed their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez. Jose was a powerful Hollywood executive, Kitty a glamorous socialite. From the outside, they looked like the perfect American family. But behind closed doors, a dark reality was hidden. When the truth came out, the public was stunned. How could 2 sons kill their own parents? At first, the brothers tried to mislead the police, but eventually, their secret unraveled. The trial divided the nation. On one side, people saw the murders as cold-blooded acts motivated by greed and inheritance. On the other, supporters argued the brothers were victims of years of abuse and trauma who reached their breaking point. In 1996, after a long and controversial trial, both Eric and Lyle were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Since then, they've lived their lives behind bars, separated in different prisons. Over the years, their story never truly faded. In fact, recent Netflix shows and documentaries revived interest in the Menendez case, introducing it to a whole new generation. Online petitions, hashtag campaigns, and social media debates brought them unexpected waves of public sympathy. Many began asking, after decades of incarceration, should they finally be set free? In 2024, the California Parole Board reviewed their cases once again. For the brothers, it was the closest they had come to freedom in nearly 30 years. Hearings stretched across 2 days. Each brother faced a panel of commissioners who questioned them about their past, their state of mind before and after the murders, and their behavior in prison. But once again, the outcome was a denial. Both brothers were told they would not be eligible for parole for another 3 years, though they could request an administrative review in 1 year. So why were they denied? One of the biggest reasons was their use of contraband cell phones to the outside world. This might sound like a small violation, but inside prison, cell phones are considered extremely dangerous. As Commissioner Robert Barton explained, cell phones can be used to order hits, move drugs, and coordinate attacks on officers. Having one often means gangs are involved, and officers may be smuggling them in. Eric admitted he used his phone to talk with his wife, watch YouTube, listen to music, and even watch pornography. Lyle said he turned to cell phones because prison staff were allegedly selling his family communications to tabloids, and he felt he needed privacy. But the board wasn't convinced. To them, this was proof of selfishness, a belief that rules didn't apply to the Menendez brothers. Eric's prison record was especially troubling. In his early years, he used drugs and alcohol, though he claims to have been sober since 2013, on what would have been his mother's birthday. But even more concerning was his association with a violent prison gang known as the 2-Fivers. Around 2013, he helped them in a tax scheme. Eric explained he was living in fear. Friends were being stabbed and assaulted, and he believed aligning with the gang was his only way to survive. Lyle's record was somewhat cleaner, but commissioners said he still displayed traits like deception, minimization, and rule breaking. Perhaps the most emotional part of the hearing came when the board revisited the murder of their mother, Kitty. Commissioner Barton admitted he was deeply disturbed by the way she was killed. He said, "You weren't in imminent danger. You could have gone to the police or asked other family members for help. Shooting her, especially the final shot, showed callousness." For many, Kitty was not only a mother, but also a victim herself of domestic violence, making her death even more tragic. Adding to this was a risk assessment ordered by Governor Gavin Newsom. The confidential report labeled both brothers as a moderate risk. Statistically, in California, prisoners in this category are granted parole only about 22% of the time, making release extremely difficult. Still, the brothers were not without support. At the hearing, more than a dozen family members spoke on their behalf. Their aunt, who was dying of stage 4 cancer, pleaded for their release. so she could spend her final days with them. Kitty's great-niece promised to provide Eric with a home full of unconditional love and stability in Colorado if he were ever released. Family members issued a joint statement afterward. "We are disappointed by the denial, but not discouraged. We know Eric and Lyle are good men, remorseful, rehabilitated, and deserving of love. We will continue to stand by them." The Menendez brothers case remains a puzzle, part true crime, part family tragedy, and part psychological study. Are they ruthless killers who should never be trusted in society again, or are they broken sons who endured years of abuse before finally snapping? The debate has lasted for decades, and even now, the world remains divided. So what do you think? After more than 35 years, should Eric and Lyle Menendez finally be given freedom? Or do their crimes demand that they remain behind bars for the rest of their lives? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories and updates.